Alright, what is up everybody? I'm on the way home from the airport. What a nice night it was in Phoenix at the US Airways Arena, home of the Phoenix Suns. From there we went right into the Rumble. Rumble surprises. Chris Jericho really blew the roof off of things. I mean, that's something that really snuck in under the radar. Godfather was a surprise guy. Goldust got a surprise. He even said on Twitter that was the largest pop that he'd ever received. I thought it was pretty cool. Goldust was a surprise mystery entrant in 2002, my last Rumble, and then 11 years later he's doing the entrance again. Seems like all the rumor people that were supposed to be there, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, Chris Masters, and somebody else, Hurricane Helms. All the rumored guys that everybody in the dirt sheet says was a slam dunk lock, it just didn't pan out. You hear things all the time when you're leaving shows. One guy said that they decided not to use them because it was so widely known that they were using them, which is sometimes doesn't really make sense. But when Freaking 88 Miguel was picking me up at the airport, Chris Masters was leaving Phoenix on a flight to go home, and I thought that was funny that he was able to break the news that Masters wasn't going to be in the Rumble. Bo Derek, the guy from NXT who won the spot to get in there, this is sort of like, I guess, his stepping stool to get up on the roster. A lot of the guys that they bring up, Big E Langston gets put right with Dolph Ziggler in association with the main event. The Shield is right there in the main event as well. They have the awesome match at TLC. A lot of the guys that come off of NXT that are getting brought up really have a real role on there. And honestly, I was thinking, like, what's this guy gonna do? He's gonna get in the Rumble, and then he's gonna go to Raw or SmackDown, and anything from here is gonna be a letdown. Like, they're pretty much setting this guy up to fail. I was honestly really happy that they didn't use Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno in that spot, which I was really scratching my head on why they wouldn't. As far as I know, that's the best guy they have at NXT that I'm looking forward to making the jump to the big roster. But it seems like they started a real thing with Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett got mad, much like when Maven dropped out Undertaker in 2002. Yeah, you know, Wade Barrett isn't Undertaker, but I mean, he is the Intercontinental Champion, so at least we'll have him treating him with respect. I rather much would have had him run in there and just get the Bob Holly treatment and just everybody beat the crap out of him. Or the Muhammad Hassan treatment, either way, but that would have been really cool to me. Sin Cara was a real surprise at 29. I thought he was injured and he wasn't coming back. I hadn't heard anything from Mysterio. He hadn't been used on shows in a good while. His attire, I don't know what the hell he was wearing. He's wearing a new top to his thing, but at least it's not one of the ones that covers his whole torso, I guess you can say. I always thought those looked sort of weird on him. That's the last thing I saw him wearing for the last good while. So, I mean, at least he's not wearing that, but what he's wearing now, it makes him look pretty weird. Just go back to wearing normal, they're not tights, but, you know, like the pants. Just go back to wearing pants and nothing on your top, I guess. Anything else out of the Rumble? I was real surprised when you got down to the end, and your final 5 guys was 4 faces and 1 heel, the heel being Ziggler, and Ziggler was bounced out in the final 4. He was the 4th guy out. Most of the time you see more heels in the end than faces, much like when Legacy was in there and it was 3-on-1. And a lot of other times you get like 2-on-2s where the heels, and it almost becomes like a tag match in the ring for a couple minutes. But once it got down to Cena versus good old Goldberg, Ryback, you knew it was on. And the way that Cena dumped Ryback, I guess there's no real way to really dump the guy out to make it look spectacularly great. But it looked a little weird to me, but I'm sure it looked better on TV. My angle was a little bit off of what I thought it was going to be, but I had a lot of good fun at